Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the In Groove in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm doing the new arrival video for August 19th, 2022. Actually a pretty solid new arrival week and also a good restock week. First I wanted to start with the pre-orders, which actually there's a lot of good pre-orders this week to tell you about too. Impex finally announced their second one-step. It is Patricia Barber's Nightclub. They're doing a few more of these. I think the last one was 5,000. This one they're doing 7,500. It's on 45 RPM vinyl, just like the last one. That is coming out October 28th, so that's on the website right now for pre-order. I want to say they raised the price $5, which is reasonable. You got to think the last time one of those came out was at least a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. So $5 seems reasonable. Move to $129.99 versus $125. I think it was $125. Mars Volta, self-titled, that's coming out September 16th. Credence at the Royal Albert Hall. So there's a CCR. This was remastered from the original multi-tracks. So they restored and remastered the original multi-track tapes. That was done by Giles Martin, who did, he's been doing a lot of the remixes lately and with pretty positive results. So that's being hyped up as something that's going to be, a huge leap forward in sound quality. They're doing a new, maybe 2022 version of Queen's Night at the Opera. I don't know if that's a new version. It might just be new pressing, new packaging, new barcode with a higher price. I'm not really sure what's different about this as opposed to ones that have come out in the past. The big one, Alice in Chains Dirt. That's coming out September 23rd. I mean, I'm hoping we get to see more of the Alice Chains catalog. Maybe Tripod. I don't know where that's at. But the music on vinyl, Alice in Chains stuff that just went out of print maybe a year and a half ago was the last time I had it in the store. Those are like $300 now. So this couldn't have come at a better time. Joe Lovano, I'm All About You, my sloppy handwriting. That is coming out September 16th. This is a Blue Note classic. The two Blue Note classics that are on the website for pre-order, Joe and Charlie Hunter Trio, Bing Bing Bing, which comes out October 28th. They're more modern titles, but according to the hype, they're all still AAA, so they must have been being recorded on tape, even though they're more modern titles. Analog, cut by Kevin Gray, same thing with this as all the Blue Note classics. Pressed at optimal, basic packaging, but these are both doubles. So two newer Blue Note classic titles, which is cool. I mean, I think it's nice introducing people to some newer stuff. But yeah, so let me show you as well. We've got some SACDs that came in. I'm trying to bring more and more SACDs in. These are some import SACDs. So I have the Eagles, Hotel California. Oh, this is not an SACD. This is an autograph CD. Sabrina Carpenter, Emails I Can't Stand. We really don't do much in the way of normal CDs, but when I get autographed indie store exclusives, I try to bring those in. So for you Sabrina Carpenter fans, this includes a signed insert. So I've actually got probably about 6 or 7 different autograph CDs in stock still right now. The big one, which I'm shocked it didn't sell, was, let's see if I can go grab one over here and show you. I'm really shocked that these are still in here. It's actually not a bad bad record, but yeah, Florence and the Machine, Dance Fever. That is still the indie store exclusive autograph. I still have some of those. Fleetwood Mac's Rumors on Japanese SACD. These are pretty cool. So these are the Super Deluxe CD, SACD. Fleetwood Mac, Santana's Lotus. This was actually a subcontracted job by Mobile Fidelity. I want to say Rob from Mobile Fidelity is the one who mastered this, and they also mastered the vinyl that I showed you some months back. This is pretty cool. Hybrid 4.0, so this might be in quad as well. My Japanese is not that good. So yeah, these are full-blown Japanese imports. These are not released in America. But yeah, we've got a stereo and a quadraphonic layer. So it's a 3 SACD set. I mean, this is just awesome packaging. For a CD, this is about as premium as you're going to get. Multiple books you can see in there. It's a full trifold cover, has the Obi, but I've got a couple of these, Santana's Lotus, and I was looking at this, Santana 3. This actually looks like it was mastered by Rob as well. So, I mean, look at the cover though. It's real cool. It's like a little miniature record, almost 7-inch single size. It's a foil cover. I mean, they did a killer job on this. Wish we could see this on vinyl, to be honest. But this is quadraphonic as well, so it's going to have a stereo layer in there. But if you've got a multi-channel system, you can listen to it in quad. Actually, it looks like this is quad as well. Miles Davis, Live Evil. Same concept, SACD, 4-channel and 2-channel. Kind of a metallic foil cover, gatefold. Looks like a little book inside there. Pretty cool. And you know, Toto 4. I don't know what they could have given you inside of there with Toto 4, but it looks like there's 1, 2, 3 books in there, maybe a postcard. Not a metallic cover, but this is actually SACD 5.1 channel surround sound, 2-channel, and then a standard 2-channel CD layer in there. So yeah, some Japanese only SACDs. Okay, a lot of pre-orders came in and a really pretty solid restock. I haven't seen this in maybe 2 years. The Cars. Shake It Up. This is actually all analog. So according to Mobile Fidelity's website, who is now tracking the sourcing of all their records, this is actually listed as direct to lathe from the original master tape. Alan Parsons got a restock on this. Eye in the Sky. DSD, but this is by far and away the best sounding version of this I've ever heard on vinyl. It is awesome. Brothers in Arms, which was a digital recording to begin with. Also, this was pretty much considered the best sounding version of this record on vinyl. Got a restock of this. It never stays in stock too long. And T-Rex. This is another analog direct to lathe. This has the Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab stripe, which always signified that it wasn't sourcing the record from the original master tape, but this is it says a copy of the master. So 2nd generation master, all analog to the lathe. Finally, when was this thing scheduled to come out originally? Like a year ago? The 33 RPM Oscar Peterson We Get Requests Trio. Fantastic record. The Verve all analog series. Who's this done by? Probably Ryan Smith. Just says mastered from the original analog tapes by top mastering engineers. It seems like Ryan is actually doing most of these. Kind of a Stoughton type tip-on cover, although I don't think Stoughton is the one doing these anymore. They have somewhat of a different feel as opposed to the originals. 2 great Blue Note classic titles came in. Wayne Shorter's Adam's Apple, all analog, cut by Kevin Gray from the original master tapes. And Larry Young's Unity also has Joe Henderson and Elvin Jones on it. Woody Shaw, but fantastic Blue Note title, one of the most iconic covers. This has been a pretty popular pre-order. Muddy Waters, the Rolling Stones. So this is cool because you can see video of this online. On YouTube, you can probably Google this and see a good amount of this. Essentially, Muddy was playing at Buddy Guy's place, the Checkerboard Lounge. The Rolling Stones, I think, had a gig that night. Actually, it probably tells you here. I think the Rolling Stones had a gig that night. After the gig, they pop in and sit down, start drinking, get on stage and play with Muddies. So it's kind of like that first half of the concert is Muddy Waters. The second half is the Stones starting to have more and more of a role in the concert. Looked a little bit staged from the video because the 2 tables in the front of the stage are empty. The Stones actually, you know, they get in there halfway-ish through the concert. They get going. It's kind of cool. You know, you can see them a little bit having a good time, ordering bottles of whiskey, I believe, from memory, and they get up there, and you know, there's guitars and everything ready for them, and they just start jamming with Muddy. But it's a really, historically, it's right iconic, but it's also a really good performance by Muddy and by the Stones. Great Muddy Waters set list as well. But yeah, you could check out some clips of that. All right, so this is from Colombia. And I think this was, I'm pretty sure these were made in Japan. Maybe not. Let me see here. So this is We Want Miles from Get On Down. It's got a Japanese obi on it. I'm not really sure. Doesn't say. Manufactured for Get On Down by Sony Music Entertainment. This might have been done in Japan or not. I'm not 100% sure, but it doesn't really look like it. But this is part of the same series as the Miles Davis Man with the Horn I showed you a couple weeks ago. But reasonably priced for a double disc, if it is a Japanese record. All right, Oingo Boingo, Good for Your Soul. The second Oingo Boingo title I'm showing you from the Rebellion remasters. They did 500 of these. This is on tan and yellow color in colored vinyl, limited to 500 copies. So I got a few of those. All right, Slipknot, Volume 3, The Subliminal Verses. This is on Orange Crush double vinyl. So probably an indie store exclusive. They put a barcode over the hype sticker, so that's probably an indie store exclusive. Eric Church, And. What's the name of this album? Not A-N-D, but the and symbol. King Diamond on Black and Blue Marble, Them. We've got the Linda Lindas. Let's see, I'm guessing the name of this is Growing Up. Yeah. This is on clear with blue and pink splatter vinyl. The Linda Lindas. From Music on Vinyl, John Mayall, Blues for the Lost Days, 25th Anniversary Edition, number 2, 1,500 copies. This is number 479. A reissue of Pavement, Slanted and Enchanted, 30th Anniversary on red, white, and black splatter vinyl. We've got a long-awaited repress of Tears for Fears, The Seeds of Love. God, I saw the music on, or I don't know what it's going for now, but Mobile Fidelity did a version of this. I'm going to say that was like up to 300 bucks. That was going for crazy money for a while. The Queers, Don't Back Down. Limited to 500 copies on colored vinyl. And it looks like this is on white splattered, maybe. You know, as I can see very little of it through the back. But this is how it comes direct from the distributor. Kind of nice. They're putting, you know, you're seeing more and more of this, where they're actually taking the record, putting it in like a Japanese type sleeve, kind of like I store it in the store, and shipping it that way. Looks like a Friday Music version of Santana. Yeah, Z-Bop. From Friday Music. Let's see, what is this? Light in the Attic, Nancy. I think this is Light in the Attic. Yeah, Light in the Attic. Oh, this is pretty cool. That's a cool number, too. So a gold foil numbered edition of 2,000 LPs worldwide. And this is actually number 1962 of 2000. Nancy and Lee. Sly Stone's Flower, 1969 to 70. I'm Just Like You. This is Purple Pink Color Edition. Also from Light in the Attic. From Music on Vinyl, Zap Self-Titled. Limited edition of 1,500 copies on purple colored vinyl. This is 1,434. Some more Music on Vinyl. Static X, Start a War. This is not a numbered limited edition. M83, Hurry Up, We're Dreamin'. 10th Anniversary, limited edition, double orange vinyl. So I'm guessing indie exclusive, because they took this ginormous sticker and put it right on top of the old barcode. Also from Music on Vinyl, Danger Danger. We've also got from Music on Vinyl, limited to 1,000 copies. Excuse me, 1,000 copies on translucent yellow colored vinyl. These new hype stickers from Music on Vinyl, they're a little darker, they're harder to read. Not as bright as the older gold colored vinyl, or gold color sticker. What is this? It could be quite good. Holly Basil Records. We've got Shigeyo Sakato, Volume 1. Yeah, I have no clue what that is musically. I'm going to have to Google that later. Interesting cover. Okay, so they're doing a whole they're doing a whole war reissue campaign. The only one that I actually have on the video to show you is Deliver the World. Excuse me, Deliver the Word. They did a real good job on the replica, of the cover. This is actually a textured cover with the cutout. So they didn't really cheap out on this, which is kind of nice. A lot of times with these reissue campaigns they do, but they did a good job on this. So let me tell you some of the stuff I've got that didn't make it, but I'll actually have it, if you're watching this video the day it goes live on Thursday, I'll have these on the website by the end of the day. But I've got 4 other war titles: Why Can't We Be Friends, the self-titled, All Day Music. Yeah, just those 3, I think. There's a Steve Stevens that I'm going to have, Memory Crash. If you go on the website now, they're all sold out. But like I said, I'll have them later on today. Online Drawing, The Volunteers. There is 2 different versions of the Monkees Headquarters on black vinyl and one on red vinyl. Madonna's Finally Enough Love. I think that's an indie store exclusive I got. Grand Funk live album. That's probably a Friday music. Five Finger Death Punch, Afterlife, and the Afterlife indie exclusive. Rick Derringer's Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. Danzig's Satan's Child. There's also some color variation of that. Alice Cooper's Killer. I think that's from Friday music. Cobra Starship's Hot Mess. The Bouncing Souls. Burner's Gotti, and Terry Bozzio's 9 short films. Also, there's a Panic at the Disco, their newest album, Viva La Vengeance, which was a pre-order. I think I've got the red vinyl indie exclusive, which will be shipping when it comes out. But I'll have that later on today as well. But figured I'd tell you guys because half of my new arrival order came and the other half was delayed because of UPS and, what they typically do. Paula Abdul, For Every Young Girl. This is not a numbered version, which is probably a good idea. I think this is going to be a really good seller. It's got Straight Up on it. Black Uhuru, New Day. Looks like, yeah, that's, I thought it for a minute there, I thought it was an embossed cover, but no, that's just the cellophane. All right, Elvis Costello, The Juliet Letters. This is number 2, 2,500 copies on purple vinyl, and this is $5.96. Boris, Heavy Rocks. We got 2 versions of this. We've got one on white vinyl, limited to 1,000 copies, and one on gold vinyl, which is looking like it's just a standard issue because it's not limited to any specific amount of copies. But looks like they're on Relapse now. I think they did some stuff on Third Man. But yeah, they both come unsealed. That's how they come. Okay, so Pearl Jam's last album, they're doing a special tour edition of Gigaton with a live CD. So this is kind of how it comes, the album with the live CD on the front. I believe we got a colored variation of the Bee Gees Live. So that's just a colored variation. The Rolling Stones Hot Rocks, 280-gram black vinyl LP. We've got Snoop Dogg Rng. This is an album that was super popular for Record Store Day. Nicki Minaj's Beam Me Up Scotty, but that was a Record Store Day first, which meant it was going to come out later on. It just happened to come out very shortly. Sometimes it's a year or two, sometimes it's not at all. Sometimes it's a couple months later. This is pretty cool. Never thought I'd see a, a reissue of this. But Elvis, Worldwide 50 Award Hits box set came out maybe the late 60s, early 70s. Reissued by Music on Vinyl. They're doing 2,500 of these. But this is volume 1, 2,500 of them. I think it's triple disc. Originally came out, I believe, as a triple disc. Includes 20-page photo album. I want to say the originals of this, or it was either volume 1 or volume 2. The originals actually had a piece of his wardrobe. So they took some of his jumpsuits and cut them up and they put them on a card, and you actually got a piece of his wardrobe as part of the box set. Pretty cool, something that came out in like trading cards 30 years later, 40 years later. But yeah, they did it on the original box set. Maybe it was volume 2. 4LP, excuse me, this is a 4LP box set. I have some Tupac. Until the End of Time. This is I think it's a 4-disc, like a binder box set. Yeah, 4LP. You know, it's kind of a bound. It's nicely done. If you are a Tupac fan, you will probably be all over this, I would imagine. I personally don't know, but I mean, I'll know come the morning if anybody buys it. Okay, restock of the Japanese imports of Star Wars. Single disc Return of the Jedi. These are all I think these came out for Japanese Record Store Day, maybe a year ago, with the original Japanese cover and Obi. Empire Strikes Back. And the first movie, which is now also known as the fourth movie, which was the self-titled, but now it's known as The New Hope. But yeah, this one. The original movie. Got a restock, a long awaited restock of Pearl Jam's 10. This is the deluxe double disc version. Probably the preferred way of listening to this. So actually, no, this isn't stretched out on 2 discs. This is LP1 is 10. LP2 is brand new remixes. I always thought they stretched this out on 2 discs. Oh well. Miles Davis, My Funny Valentine, import from Japan. These are pressed at Sony Japan. The sound quality of the vinyl, you know, is just like it was in the 80s. Ultra quiet, super high grade vinyl. I just don't know how they can make such quiet vinyl to this. It's like they didn't miss a beat, where it seems like a lot of other plants around the world are struggling. But they did a real good job of these. I want to assume all of these are from DSD. That's mostly what I believe these Sony Masters are. They're not analog, but we've got My Funny Valentine. They actually call it the Analog Jazz Collection, but I believe in Japan, you know, they're referring to 12-inch disc LPs as analog, because it's in analog format as opposed to CD, even if the mastering was done digitally. Coltrane sound, but they did I mean, the quality of these is so fantastic. It's really just like the Japanese equivalent of a tone poet. Really thick cardboard covers like the originals. They put them in a 12-inch outer sleeve, like a DJ sleeve, so they don't get damaged. Has the Obi. Now these are actually pressed at optimal using Japanese mastering. This is the inaugural record that came out in Japan at the new Sony plant. Billy Joel's 52nd Street. It's actually great sounding. I heard this when it first came out. It sounds really good. But yeah, the very first record that they pressed at the new Sony Japan was this one. The Bill Evans album. Same thing, thick cover, 12-inch sleeve on the back. Just like all Japanese records for the most part, they don't come factory sealed. They come in these Japanese sleeves. I also got a restock of Cake's Fashion Nugget. I don't know why that's kind of like hiding in the back with the other Japanese records, but it is. I got very few of these. They're not going to last long. Okay. Sonny Rollins, The Bridge. I want to say these were done. Yeah, these are done at Sony Japan. So some of these Sony titles were done, or excuse me, some of these Japanese titles were done at Sony Japan, pressed at Sony Japan, and some of them were actually made for the Japanese market, but done in Optimal. The discs were sent over, and they're probably paired with Japanese manufactured covers. Yeah, this is another one that's done by Optimal. So the Warner titles look like they were done by Optimal. Obviously, Sony pressed their own stuff in Japan. Don't know. I know the Sony stuff. I'm almost positive the Sony stuff is DSD. I'm not sure about the Warner stuff, but I don't think it's analog. But yeah, that is it for this week's New Arrival video. Check us out online, guys, at theingroove.com. Until next time.